Gibbs Gaming.
Hey YouTube, and welcome back to Gibbs Gaming. This is Chris, and as you can tell, we're doing another Borderlands 3 build to get ready for that release date next month. We're going to be covering Amara the Siren. I just wanted to give a quick note here. These builds are for me to be able to solo slash co-op with a friend of mine. They are not a pure solo build. They are not a pure multiplayer build. They're kind of the amalgamation of both. I appreciated your comments in the last video when we covered Moe's. So keep those coming. If there's a different way that you think I should be doing things, please let me know. I'm not perfect in any way. I'm not a master of these builds in any way. This is just my opinion on how a build should be for the play style that I do. I do also keep in mind that the last few Borderlands games I've played, once you get into the in-game areas, there's a lot of robots that you have to fight, or creatures that are robotish. So they take more damage from corrosive damage than they do from any other type of element. So I've kind of built my characters that direction so that by end game they have corrosive damage to their abilities and versus, regular elemental damage. But I don't know how this game will play out. It may follow the same pattern. They may have changed it. So once the game goes live, my builds may change. So there's that. So this is Mara. She is the Siren. We're going with the face cast ability. It sends out a projection of her. Its base damage is 92 with a cooldown of 28 seconds. So there's that. First ability on this tree, we're going to do No Harm, which gives us a total increase of damage when you have all stacks of Rush. So what this does is every time you kill an enemy, you're going to it grants Amara 1 stack of Rush. Activating her action skill consumes all Rush, which gives you 45% more damage if you're at 10 stacks. Then I did Violent Tapestry. Maxed it out, applying a status effect, grants Amara a stack of Rush. Activating her action skill consumes all stacks of Rush. For every stack of Rush consumed, Amara's status effect chance is temporarily increased. This gives us a 30% chance at 10 stacks of Rush to inflict a status effect to our target. So that helps. Then we got drop down a row, and we're going to get Restless. Amara gains increased action skill cooldown rate by 25%, so that 28 seconds is actually going to be closer to like 19. Then I also grabbed up Soul Sap. A portion of all damage dealt by Amara's action skill is returned to her or nearby allies as health. 30% of skill damage dealt is given back to us as health. So the more targets you hit with her phase, the more health you get back. Ascendant, dropping down one more row. We put 1 point into this. All action skill augments gain increased effects. Soul Sap gains another 20%, so now we're up to 50% of the damage dealt is health. If we did Allure Radius, it'd be 100%. Glamour duration is 50. Stillness of Mind breaks 0.75 seconds after being damaged. And Revelation damage is plus 25%. So there's that. We're going to drop down one more. We're going to pick up Laid Bare. Enemies take increased damage from all sources for a few seconds after being damaged by Amara's action skill. Damage increased by 25%. Duration is 8 seconds. So if they don't die from our phase ability, they will take increased damage. Amara gains increased gun damage. This effect is increased after she activates her action skill for a few seconds. I only put 1 point into this because I had one left over after the whole build I did. But Amara gains increased gun damage. It would be plus 6.7%. Gun damage is plus another 6.7% after action skill is used. Duration is 8 seconds. So there you go. Drop down one more row. We're going to get Remnant. When Amara kills an enemy with a gun or action skill, she creates a homing projectile that seeks out a new enemy, dealing her action skill elemental damage. Any overkill damage is added to the projectile damage. Remnant damage is 26 points of damage, and then if I do an overkill, it will do more. Then we're going to come over and grab Awakening. Amara's rush stacks gain increased effectiveness, so they will be 30% stronger. That will apply to these two big bonus abilities here. So we're gaining, where'd that go? 30% more effectiveness out of both of these. So 30% of 30%, and then 30% of 45%. And then we also got this action skill, which is called Tadava. Amara sends out an astral projection of herself. When it hits a target, it explodes, damaging all nearby enemies. For 35-second cooldown for 91 damage. So the cooldown jumps up, but keep in mind we did get the cooldown reduction over here of 25%, so that's actually going to be around 20 seconds. And then its damage will be increased by everything else. So last thing we got on this tree is called Avatar. Amara's action skill can be activated while it's cooling down. This skill may only be used once per completed cooldown. Additionally, increases Amara's max rush stacks. Additionally, if Amara's action skill kills an enemy, it refunds half of her rush stacks. Bonus rush stacks is now plus 10. So we have a total of 20 stacks. Now that when we come back up here with 20 stacks, so you get 20 stacks of plus 4.5%. So you're adding another 45 to that. That's 90 additional damage, or 90% more damage at 20 stacks. So as you can see, just using this one ability is going to do massive damage, and that means we're going to get a ton of health back. Then we're going to come over to the green tree here, Brawl. I did this because it gives her more health and survivability, which is good for soloing. For this first row here, we have Root to Rise. Amara gains increased max health, so 40% more health. Then we got Clarity. Amara constantly regenerates health. The lower her health, the more powerful the regeneration. After using an action skill, this bonus is doubled for a few seconds. Health regeneration is up to plus 5% missing health a second. So, and that lasts for 5 seconds. Then we've got Samshara. I hope I'm saying some of these skills correctly. Whenever Amara deals damage to an enemy with her action skill, she adds a stack of Samsara. For every stack of Samsara, Amara gains increased gun damage and health regeneration for a few seconds. Stacks decay after a few seconds. You get gun damage of plus 5% per enemy damaged. Health regeneration is plus 5% of max health a second per stack. You get a total of 5 stacks for a duration of 20 seconds. Mindfulness, dropping down one more row. Whenever Amara takes damage, she gains a stack of mindfulness. For every stack of mindfulness, Amara gains improved shield regeneration, delay, and movement speed. Stacks decay after a few seconds. Shield duration is decreased by 23% for the delay. Movement speed is increased by 4.2%. You can get a total of 25 stacks, so if you want to do the math there, and then the duration of 5 seconds. Then I'm going to drop down one more row to finish up all of my points here. And Amara gains increased max health and elemental damage resistance to her action skill element. So we gain plus 25% more health, and our elemental damage reduction to, I believe it's electricity on her. Yeah, shock damage. We gain 40% reduction to shock damage. So not that great in the overall scheme of things, but there we go. So that's how I built my Amara. Again, it is for the multiplayer solo amalgamation that I'll be doing with these characters. Later on in the week, we will be covering Flak, and then right after that, we'll be doing Zane. So I'm still working on those builds, trying to figure out how I want to play the character, how I think the character will play for me. But keep in mind, these builds are subject to change. I mean, play how you guys play. That's the important part. These aren't set in stone. These aren't a end-all, do-all kind build. It is my perspective on it. So I'm always looking for input on how you guys would change it or do it better. So please, leave me that in the comment section down below. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please make sure you hit subscribe and then hit the bell notification so you stay up to date with all the different videos that I'm doing. Because I am still working on my ESO stuff, and I'll be doing Borderlands when it comes out. So that in mind, guys, I will catch you in the next video. This is Chris at Gibbs Gaming, and as always, as one, we rise stronger and wiser. Peace out, guys. Bye.